the fastest way to make $100,000 wholesaling real estate. Guys, if you're ready for a tried and true wholesaling real estate system to get you $100,000 right now as soon as possible, you are at the right video. What is up? My name is Zach Ginn.
Rick Ginn here.
And after doing 5,000 combined wholesaling real estate deals, we have done a lot and we know exactly what it takes for you to get successful in wholesaling real estate. Now, the first thing we have to talk about before we get in the nitty gritty, what systems, KPIs, and everything like that is what actually brings someone to make six figures their first year wholesaling real estate. And honestly, what I have found has been direction plus effective action.
So think about the two, direction and action. And the best metaphor I can use is if you want to go somewhere. The first thing you do is what? You're going to pull up a map, right? And if you want to get to point A, point B, say you're going in your car on a family trip, and say you're going from St. Louis to Orlando, Florida on a great family vacation, the first thing is have a map because you're going to be driving there in your car if you decide to do the family road trip, which is fun, and you have a road map. And so you have the map, you have the time set out, and you figure how many stops you're going to make, how much gas. Now, the next part of it, once you have the map, you have direction, you know where you're going. You actually feel good about it. The next thing is you actually have to do the work. You're going to take the action, meaning you're going to get in your car and you're going to drive. That's the action. You have to go through the journey. And so many people do one without the other. Honestly, without the map, you're never going to get there. You're just not going to get there. You're going to feel like you get there. And then if you have the map and you don't take any action, it's like walking from St. Louis to Disneyland. You're never going to make it. So it's so imperative you get the right direction. Flip with Rick will get you there. Combination of free wholesaling. And most importantly, you have to take the action. Without the action, the map is useless. You just stare at it. If you combine the two, it is your key to getting to your $100,000 in wholesaling.
And so talking about a system that's actually going to work, I'm going to 100% recommend that you just start out with this simple philosophy. This is going to be the philosophy that helps you make 100K or, like 10K a month wholesaling. Focus just 10 hours every single week to doing income producing activities. Income producing activities are activities that actually will produce you assignment fees and money in wholesaling real estate. Kind of like what we said before about having direction and making sure you're in the right direction. Being in the right direction is actually doing things that are actually going to produce you income in wholesaling real estate. It's going to be cold calling, any type of marketing possible, trying for dollars, reverse trying for dollars. Now, the things that are not income producing activities are going to be list pulling, skip tracing. I know it seems like you're producing income, but by just pulling a list, that act is not producing income. Comping properties, networking with title companies or networking with a realtor. That stuff all sounds great, creating logos, but that doesn't produce income in wholesaling. The things that produce income in wholesaling is any type of marketing, talking to motivated sellers, following up with motivated sellers, going on appointments, or talking with cash buyers or finding cash buyers. Unfortunately, anything that's not that is not income producing. So if you want a good direction, make sure you're dedicating at least 10 hours a week of doing this. I would say probably 20 hours is going to be where you really should be at, but at minimum 20 hours for you to be a success in wholesaling real estate.
Next is all about consistency, and consistent marketing leads to consistent results. You see, if you want to have great results, you have to start with consistency, and you can't do it without it. You see, consistency is your dedication, call it your discipline, to do the things every day you need to do in wholesaling. Most importantly, marketing. You see, you can't go on appointments and do closings and do everything, because if you do the marketing, then you jump over to the appointments, you write contracts, sell your contracts to cash buyers, and you stop marketing. That's what we call inconsistent. And that's what creates these up and down valleys that drive most wholesalers nuts. The biggest cure to it is just be consistent. You're going to have to learn the disciplines, the daily actions you need to take so you can get consistent results. And you're going to have to do it even when you don't feel like it, because consistency doesn't care. You have to make it happen. Consistent marketing equals consistent results. If you put the two together, they are inseparable. You can't get the results without the consistent marketing. Put them together, guys. Make it happen. Do the work.
And the next one is just having the right lists and the right scripts for talking to motivated sellers. Kind of like we're saying again, we're kind of forcing you to make the right directions. Make sure you're doing lists that actually get wholesaling real estate results. Now, everyone feels like if I just go to PropStream or Batch Leads and just pull whatever general list possible and just do their general skip tracing, that's going to lead for me to have wholesaling success. And that's honestly the farthest from the truth. you got to be going after lists that no one else is really going after, that actually have motivated sellers. Like I've said, government lists, earned lists, drying for dollars, reverse drying for dollars. And yes, some prop stream batch leads lists are going to be good too, but you're going to have to be going after lists that are a mix of everything. Yes, go do some saturated lists, but whenever you do those, you come back to me and say, oh, there's too many wholesalers. Well, go after government lists. Well, that's too hard. It's like, what do you want from me? I think a mix of all of them, figuring out what's going to be the best for you. I would generally say for anyone watching this, you should be a big tester. Test a lot of things out. Figure out, hey, does texting pre-foreclosures work really well in my market? Or does it not? Is cold calling the probates the move or is it not, right? You got to figure out all these different lists. Do the vacant properties work for cold calling, right? You're going to have to do some analysis yourself and figure out what should work and what's not going to work. And the same thing with the scripts. If you go to freewholesaling.com, our free real estate wholesaling course, we will literally show you step by step what to say to sellers, actually live conversations I've personally had with motivated sellers. So you know exactly the right things to say to get the deal sold to cash buyers, get the deals locked up with sellers, and the right marketing things to say with your calling, texting, and any type of marketing out here.
The next is make 100 contacts with your sellers. That's right. I said the word contacts. These are people you actually engage and have a conversation with that hopefully is going to lead to some sort of future contract. To get 100 contacts, you're going to have to 10x your leads. And most likely you are going to have to engage 1,000 prospects. Now, don't get nervous about that. That's going to be a combination of cold calling, SMS, reverse driving for dollars, all your government lists. And if you need more direction on that, go over to freewholesaling.com. Listen, the more people you reach out to contact, the easier it is to achieve that 100 contacts per week. So don't think you can make 150 calls and do 100. It doesn't work that way. People don't answer the phone. You get wrong numbers. You got to call people back. So the name of the game is consistently reach out to your list, get the best motivation list, and chase down thousands of prospects. But you've got to whittle it down and guarantee yourself you have at least 100 contacts per week of sellers you're engaging that you're actively trying to buy their house. If you do this, this is going to lead to very consistent results for you.
Now, your question is, how do I get these 100 contacts a week, right? What should I be doing? What's the system for it? Zach, you said you have a system. My system's going to be pretty easy and pretty simple. Just focus on 3 lists. And this is one we've been very adamant about this year and something you should be doing. On those 3 lists, I feel like 2 of these lists should be government lists. So whatever government list you want, pre-foreclosures, probates, fire damage properties, water shops, whatever it is, 2 government lists you have to pull from your government, not paying someone to do it, not going from a software, actually going straight to the source, to the government for this. And then that extra list can be kind of a freebie, right? It can be a big paid list. It can be an earned lists. I prefer being an earned list, maybe something bigger, but it can be drying for dollars, reverse drying for dollars, or heck, even the vacants, whatever you want to make it. But make sure it's a bigger list, something that might be a little more saturated, or even on the other niche, less saturated for drying for dollars or reverse drying for dollars. As long as you focus on 2 niched out lists and 1 earned list or 1 big paid list, you're going to be ready to go for wholesaling results. Now, I'm not going to give you specifically what list to pull, because if I have thousands of people in your city just doing 1 specific list, it ain't going to be good. So figure out yourself. But if you have any questions or you want to know exactly the list that I like, just go to freewholesaling.com, our free real estate wholesaling course. To also mention, it's the only free wholesaling course in the country. You should be going after it right now.
And lastly, you got to dedicate 2 hours per week in building your cash buyers list. Listen, I get it. You're like thinking, why do I need a cash buyers list when I'm still actively trying to find my first deal? Trust me, the sooner you build this, the better your wholesaling business is going to be. You're going to get feedback and data from your cash buyers. You're going to vet them to make sure you just don't have other wholesalers piggybacking. And most importantly, it's going to increase your speed to contract conversion. Meaning, if you have a deal and you're under a super tight line and you already have cash buyers vetted and ready to go, it means you can convert those contracts faster, which means you can do tighter timeframes. You cannot do this without a robust cash buyers list. Make sure you're dedicating 2 hours per week and work on your cash buyers list. Remember, it's not about the quantity, it's about the quality. That is going to equate to a great wholesale business. Do not overlook this step. It is extremely important in your wholesaling business.
And that's it. That's how you make 100K the fastest way possible. This system is tried and true, and they'll lead you to wholesaling success. The reason why the system works so well is it forces you to be consistent. It forces you to talk to sellers daily. It forces you to talk to cash buyers weekly. It forces you to be the best version of yourself for wholesaling success. Now, what you have to do is kind of get the direction, read between the lines, and the best way to do that is by going to our free course. Heck, we could be charging $7,000 for this course, but we're giving it to you absolutely for free for you to have the best advantage possible. If you want to check it out, go to freewholesaling.com. And like always, if you got any value from this video, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe. We'll see you soon. This is Zach Ginn signing out.
Rick Ginn signing out.
Have a blessed one.
See you guys.